Migration driven by predatory profit can cause the downfall of migrants and harm their sources of income. In this video, we explore how the predatory pursuit of profit prompted the Huns to migrate to Central Europe, while simultaneously weakening their income sources. Historical sources do not report the number of Huns living north of the Danube border of the Roman Empire at the beginning of the 5th century. However, Roman historians mention the Huns as mercenaries who participated in military campaigns against invading Germanic tribes and also in Roman civil wars. In 406, the Western Roman Empire's top general, Stilicho, hired a Hunnic army, led by Uldin, which, in addition to the Huns, included infantry from the Germanic tribe of the Siri, to fight an invading Gothic army led by King Radagaisus. In 408, the Hunnic army of Uldin captured the fort of Castramatis in the Eastern Roman Empire. In response, the Romans began to buy Uldin's subjects, and many Hunnic military leaders, along with their troops, including the Siri, defected to the Romans. The weakened Uldin was forced to retreat across the Danube, after which no further historical records mention him. In 412 or 413, the Roman diplomat and historian Olympiodorus of Thebes was sent on an embassy to the first of the kings of the Huns, Chariton. From the fragmentary text of Olympiodorus, the location of Chariton is unclear. Some historians speculate that Chariton ruled the Huns who settled in the Great Hungarian Plain, also known as Alfold. In 422, a major invasion by the Huns under their leader Rugila, also known as Ruga, took place on the territory of the Eastern Roman Empire, with the invasion reaching as far as Constantinople. The invasion culminated in a peace treaty, under which the Romans were required to pay £350 of gold annually, approximately 159 kilograms. Initially, Rugila ruled jointly with his brother Octar, who died in 430 during a military campaign against the Burgundians. The Huns ruled over a territory with uncertain borders. Some historians contend that Rugila governed to the east of the Carpathian Mountains, while Octar held power to the north and west. In 432, Rugila is noted as the sole ruler of the Huns. In 435, after Rugila's death, his nephews Attila and Bleda became the rulers of the Huns. Bleda ruled in the eastern part of the Hunnic state, while Attila ruled in the western part. That same year, Bleda and Attila forced the Eastern Roman Empire to sign the Treaty of Margus, which doubled the annual gold tribute to £700, about 317 kilograms. In 437, the Huns, led by the Roman general Aetius, participated in the suppression of the Burgundian revolt led by Gunther, resulting in the deaths of many Burgundians. Hunnic troops also participated in the Gothic War, from 436 to 439, on the side of the Western Roman Empire. In 440, the Huns attacked the Eastern Roman Empire during one of the annual trade fairs held under the Treaty of Margus. Within 1 year, the Huns captured and plundered the cities of Margus, Viminicium, and Singidunum, modern Belgrade. During the 443 campaign against the Eastern Roman Empire, the Hunnic army utilized battering rams and siege towers to capture the fortified city of Nisus. The Huns then captured Serdica, modern Sofia, Philippopolis, and Arcadiopolis. They defeated the Roman army outside Constantinople, but were stopped by the city's double walls. The Huns also defeated a second Roman army near Callipolis in Thrace. Unable to resist the Hunnic invasion, the Eastern Roman Empire was forced to conclude a humiliating peace, with the payment of a massive amount of gold as a fine and a significant increase in the annual tribute. Around 445, after the death of Bleda, Attila became the sole ruler of the Huns. In 447, the Hunnic army, led by Attila, invaded the territory of the Eastern Roman Empire after the cessation of tribute payments from Constantinople. The Hunnic army included the Germanic peoples of the Gepids, led by their king Ardaric, and the Goths, mostly Greuthungi, who remained under the rule of the Huns and were later known as the Ostrogoths, led by King Valema from the Amal dynasty. Attila's united army defeated a large Roman army under Anagiscus at the Battle of Eutis. The Huns then captured and plundered Marcianopolis, as well as many cities on the Balkan Peninsula, up to Thermopylae. Theodosius II, Emperor of the Eastern Roman Empire, was compelled to sign a peace treaty, under which the annual tribute was again increased. In 450, Aetius, the military leader and the de facto ruler of the Western Roman Empire, and Attila supported different candidates for the title of king of the Ripuarian Franks living in the area of Colonia Claudia Agrippinensium, modern-day Cologne. The following year, Attila assembled a large army, which included, except the Huns, the vassal Germanic tribes of the Gepids, Rugii, Syri, Thuringians, Ostrogoths, Heruli, Burgundians, and the Iranian-speaking Alans. The Hunnic army set out from the Great Hungarian Plain and probably crossed the Rhine in the area of modern Koblenz, capturing Divodurum, modern Metz, and Augusta Treverorum, modern Trier. Then, the Huns went to besiege Aurelianorum, modern-day Orleans. The approach of Aetius' army, comprising Romans and their allies such as the Visigoths under their king, Theodoric I, the Burgundians, the Alans, and some Franks, compelled the Huns to lift the siege of Aurelianorum. The two armies clashed at the Battle of the Catalonian Plains, the outcome of which is generally considered a strategic victory for the Visigothic-Roman alliance, despite the death of King Theodoric I. In 452, the Huns invaded Italy, where they besieged the well-fortified city of Aquileia, eventually capturing and destroying it after a prolonged siege. They then captured and plundered Padua, Mantua, Vicenza, Verona, Brescia, Bergamo, and laid siege to and seized Milan. The inhabitants of the plundered cities fled to small islands in the Venetian lagoon, where they laid the foundations of Venice, and to the east, Grado, in the Gradian lagoon. At that time, the army of the Eastern Roman Empire crossed the Danube and successfully defeated the forces of the Huns, whom Attila had left to defend their homelands in the Great Hungarian Plain. This forced Attila's army to retreat from Italy. In March 453, Attila died suddenly. The traditional account by the 5th century Greek historian Priscus states that Attila, during a feast celebrating his final marriage, began bleeding heavily and died. In 454, Ardaric, king of the Germanic Gepids, led a revolt against the Huns and defeated them decisively at the Battle of Nedao. In this battle, Attila's eldest son, Ellac, was killed. As a result of the battle, Hunnic dominance in Central and Eastern Europe was broken. By the early 460s, the Hunnic Empire had disintegrated, and the Germanic tribes of the Gepids, Rugii, Heruli, Suebi, and Ostrogoths had gained independence. The Huns were reorganized under the leadership of Dingizic, attacked the Eastern Roman Empire, and were decisively defeated by the Roman army in 469. After this, the Huns ceased to be a significant presence in European history. The history of the Huns' migration to Europe mirrors that of the Goths. Their movement was motivated by inequality in wealth distribution among tribes and confederations within the Roman Empire's influence, which directly related to their distance from the empire's border. Initially, the Huns, like the Goths, inhabited the outskirts of Roman influence and had limited access to the wealth available to tribes living closer to the Roman Empire. The Huns started to learn about the wealth of the Roman Empire through traders, Hunnic mercenaries serving in the Roman army, and tribes that received wealth from the Roman Empire and fell under the Huns' sphere of influence. This knowledge encouraged them to migrate to the borders of the Roman Empire at the beginning of the 5th century. Probably the Huns gradually migrated in small tribes to the territory of the Great Hungarian Plain, which was suitable for pastoral nomadic life. Then the Huns started to unify into large confederations and made the Germanic tribes, which did not escape from them, their vassals. However, vassalage was likely humiliating and burdensome for the Germanic tribes, who swiftly rebelled and gained independence during the period of uncertainty following Attila's death. In the following video, we examine the post-Hunnic period in Europe during the later Roman Empire, including the fall of the Western Roman Empire.